Hey guys, Terry Dickerson here from the Evaluator, Machinery Auctioneers. Appreciate you logging on and watch us. Got a good special guest this afternoon, Mr. Jackie Johnson from Alpha Omega
Contract Sales and Consulting, Inc.
That was too much for me to say.
Well, it's a conglomeration of a few different things. So we have equipment rental, equipment sales, we have nitrogen pumping services, we have commercial real estate rental, and we have hydraulic repair services.
And you're the Louie Dome dealer.
Lugon, yes, sir.
Lugon.
Lugon.
Louie
Yeah,
Dome.
Lugon.
No, Jackie, Louie and I were talking about it earlier.
Uh-huh.
Jackie came to the first sale that we ever had in Odessa, Texas. We had it over behind Roper Equipment on JBS Parkway. And I'm going to tell you, you need to get on to Louie when you leave here tonight. He said, I'll never forget Jackie. He bought a 3-wheel forklift like he used it to haul on the truck to unload lumber and sod. And Louie said he was bouncing down through there driving it back. You've been doing business with us since we came here.
Yes, I have.
12, 13 years ago. And
yes, sir.
You bought and sold stuff. And
yes, I have.
I guess we've been friends that long. We're doing okay.
Yes, sir. We've done really well, you know.
And you've grown like just unbelievable, just like we have.
Yeah, we're expanding into Dallas, Lubbock, Houston, Van Vliet, Texas, and Odessa. So now we'll have 5 stores, operating.
What is the biggest problem for your operation? And I bet I'll keep it in my head, and I know what you're going to say.
Well, the biggest problem for us is people.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
That's everybody's biggest problem out here, Everybody wants to be paid $1 million and work 5 hours out of the week. They don't have the skill sets necessary for that pay, but they think they ought to be paid that because somebody else is getting paid that on the other side of the fence.
Yeah. And we're here tonight. It's 7:30 because me or you could do this until after we were done working today, and you probably like me started at 5:30 or 6 this morning.
I wake up at 5 every morning. And I'm usually at the office by 6:30, 7 o'clock. By the time it depends on if I got to drop off my grandkids. My wife is always on me about stuff. So, you know how it is.
So
still got to take care of home.
That's the time you get the kids at 6, 7, 8 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
Well, what do you feel on the market on the used side? You've traded used equipment, bought used equipment. You've done it, all the aspects of rental trades, whatever. Is it blowing your mind?
It's crazy. It's like I don't know what happened. I can tell you what happened. The supply chain is not where it needs to be. People didn't build during COVID. Everybody shut down, and then so there was no chips and no engines and all these things, and so people are still needing to go back to work. And with this big infrastructure bill that's been passed. There's a lot of equipment out there that people want to get their hands on so they can go to work. And the only equipment available is used equipment. So,
that's the thing. We're seeing, vacuum trailers. We got a bunch here tomorrow, March 28th, in case this airs late. This will be March 27th, so it'll be tomorrow, March 28th. You saw it. We sold vacuum trailers. We had to beg people to buy them for $2,000, $2,500, $3,000. Now those same trailers are bringing $10,000 and $12,000, and the only thing we can contribute that to is they have run their old trailers till they've run them and run them and run them till they're just wore out. And it's the same thing with trucks. If you get a good low mileage truck, we've got some 2010 models that are probably with 42,000 miles is probably going to bring more than they did when they were bought brand new. Mm-hmm. And same thing like your equipment. I mean, construction equipment, digging and pushing, and all you got to do with it is just going to last so long.
Yes, sir. They have a lifespan on them. Especially the frames and the engines and everything. And you can run it so long. You can take the money and put it back into it, or you can just send that one off to the auction and buy another one that's, less used and put that one to work. Yeah.
And right now, I think the thing is with the used equipment, talking about the yellow iron, because you've gotten into it, I think, how you say it, Louie?
Lugon.
Lugon. I still like Louie. I named it Louie Dong. Lugon, They've got inventory, don't they?
We've got lots of inventory. They were pretty
compared to a Caterpillar or some of the others.
They were pretty smart during the downturn, and they're one of the largest manufacturers of equipment, period. They've got factories in China, Poland, and Germany. So, they make a large majority of equipment for everybody. They're the largest loader manufacturer in the world.
Really?
Couldn't believe that, could you?
I mean, and I've heard a lot of good things about it. Everybody says, oh, Caterpillar, John Deere, and I'm not saying that's not resale. That's probably the truth. But you know what? Half those excavators, they have either the same motor or the same pump or the same. I mean, there's so many components. Now, I'm not saying Caterpillar, but like Lugong or Doosan or somebody like it, they got the same pumps. They're either Sunstrand or may have, do y'all have Rextron, yeah.
Yeah, Rexroth.
Yeah.
I mean, they have everything you can buy here locally. Rexroth. The engines are Cummins, so they're shipped from here to China, put in the units, and shipped back.
Right.
That's how Americanized we are with the equipment that we're bringing out of there. It's just that China was given the steel market years ago, and so they have all the steel. So they're the ones building all the big arms and everything that go on the track loaders and stuff. But you said something very interesting a minute ago about the Caterpillar's resale value and all that. Well, if you look at Caterpillar's sell value,
cost versus return,
and you look at Lugon's sell value, and you look at the resale value on it, they're relative.
Yeah, right.
The money you saved when you bought Lugon is the money that is going to be the differentiator when you sell Lugon. So it's all relative. To when you buy the equipment, it's gonna equate to the same thing.
Like I just bought a 326L for my rental. We were getting in the rental business in San Antonio. It was a 21 model with 700 hours, but let's just say new, that tractor's about 280, 290. So what size is a 326?
It's about 60 some thousand pounds.
So what will a Lugon?
Oh man, you can buy that thing for about $226.
So $70,000-$80,000.
Yeah, there's a difference,
And the main thing, if it keeps running and it pays for itself in 3 years, who cares? Go get a new one.
Well, I can tell you this: I've converted a lot of John Deere and Cat operators already. In fact, I've got some that have bought 7 or 8 units, and they're running them every day. So I can't tell you why somebody wants to pay more money for equipment, but that's their prerogative, Yeah.
Well, what on the used side? What do you think is going to happen?
I think that eventually, probably when supply chain catches up somewhere around 2026, 2027, that we'll start seeing these used prices come back down to where, they should be.
If the manufacturers, just like we had earlier about Ford, we heard that Ford said, hey, why do we want to mass produce like we always did when we produce less and got bigger money and made more money? Well, we can lay off half our staff, half of our people. It's not good for America because of employment. But, that's the thing that I see, that if the supply and, it's what I say. People say, how do you evaluate? The first thing I want to evaluate is what supply of these, whatever it is, how many is out there. You can go on truck paper. You can go on Machinery Trader, and you can look. And if you go up there and it says, you look up a 938 loader, and you look on there and there's 14 pages of it, well, there's a lot of them for sale. If you go up there and there's 3 pages, that's a hot item because there's none for sale.
That's right.
And that's the first thing I do to evaluate it. Of course, evaluating a piece of equipment, you want to know what it is, what year model, how many hours, what it looks like, what the tires are like, and again, what the demand for that unit is. Because you take big, huge excavators right now. I'm talking the 750 Komatsus and even the 450G John Deere's. They're not. You get 10,000 hours on them, there's not a big demand for them.
No, I mean, unless you're into a big mining operation or something, you're really not going to be using those big old machines out here.
Right,
we've got a lot of sand plants and stuff out here, but, they're getting away with,
Who is your biggest customer?
If I had to say right now,
I mean, what business, you don't have to call his name.
pipeline companies.
Pipeline
Yeah, pipeline companies are
So
my
the
biggest
pipeline's
customer.
picking back up.
Yeah, pipeline has been pretty steady.
Well, it's like everything. Me and you both seen it when they the little downturn or more people get in. Like, when we came here, there was 51 heavy haul rig movers. Excuse me. And anyway, after they started to tracking those machines, moving 100 yards, and put on, it got down to like 17 or 18. The strong survived, the other ones didn't. And it's the same thing with the pipeline. When they kind of shut some of that stuff down, the strong survived. And some of the guys, like I can't remember the guy in New Mexico that had that big, Ritchie Brothers had a big, huge sale. He had all cat equipment, just brought more. And this was before, I think that was it before COVID? You remember the sale I'm talking about?
No, not right off on that
It
one.
was, yeah, it was before COVID, but he had the right stuff at the right time. And, it's just like you know when you need to sell and what you want to sell, and it's all about timing. But, if I would have known that vacuum trailers, they were used to be 42,000, now they're north of 60,000. If you order one today, it could take 8 months to a year to get it. Well, if I'd have known that and had the crystal ball, I'd have bought 1,000 trailers for 2,000 and 3,000, and I'd be able to retire.
You said something interesting about Ford a while ago, that they were talking about scaling back and laying people off. Those are going to be the manufacturers that die off. The guys that continue to build are going to be the forerunners. They're the ones that's going to take over. Not everybody's going to order a brand new truck 6, 8, 10, 12 months in advance. Nobody's going to do that.
No.
People are creatures of habit. They're going to go down to the car lot, and what they see, that's what they're going to buy.
Exactly.
And if Ford's available, they're going to buy it. If Ford's not available, they're not going to buy it.
That's just like me. I trade my Tahoe. I've learned from my partner, who's one of the best in the business at handling oil. He's in the oil field business, and he runs his trucks 80,000 miles and trades them. During the bad time, during the COVID and all that change, he was selling, trading trucks, running them 80,000 miles. Some of them he got within $2,000, and I think there were some of his salesman trucks that he made money on. And now I order a truck, try to have a truck ordered where it's ever 17,000 miles. Well, I just bought a gas. Somebody didn't take it, so I said, go ahead and order me another. I want a Z71 diesel a year. He said, I can get you a Z71 gas in 6 months. I said, do it. So I got me one coming every 6 months because I put 5,000 miles a month, 5,000 miles a month on my truck.
Yeah, you said another interesting thing a minute ago.
I'm an interesting guy, Jackie.
You're going to make me lose my train of thought. About, see, I knew it was going to happen.
That's called dementia. I got
Well,
it too.
it's got I got 50,000 things going through my head right now. But let's talk about something. I'll come back to it in just a second.
Well, it's just, and one thing that we like about customers, like you, all of our customers, the people that come in, say, this is what I need, this is what I want, we'll tell you real quick, Jackie, you don't want that, it's a piece of shit.
That's right.
But if we don't know, we say, get your mechanic over
right.
here. We, as an auction company, want our people to be like you. We've been friends and workers together and customer and all that for 13 years. I don't want to go hunt a new customer every day.
Right.
Just like you. You're going to take care of your customers so that customer will come back and he'll tell his buddy to come back. And, it's just good that everything, I need you to work.
Circle.
I need you to make my end work. You need me to make your end work
right.
sometime. So
I got my train of thought back. So you were talking about a minute ago about knowing when to get rid of a piece of equipment.
right.
So anytime you buy a piece of equipment, you got to have an exit strategy. That's one thing that I've learned in this business is if you have an exit strategy on that piece of equipment, then you're going to sell it at its prime, right? You're not going to let it go past its prime because then you're not going to get the return on it that you want. So you always want to build in an exit strategy to your sale
But
when you buy it.
our exit strategy has had to change
A little bit.
But you're right. You know, and that's just like I'm talking about trading my Tahoe. You
Right.
know, is knowing when. And I didn't know how to do this till I got to be partners with my partner, my new partner. And, you know, the whole thing is that it's just, these boys have heard me say it over and over and over. Exactly what you said right off the top of the show, supply and demand.
Supply and
And,
demand.
you know, like right now, if you want a new Mack truck, 2024 first, maybe second quarter, they're done. And I don't know what about your small rental stuff, your forklifts and that? How are you?
I've got tons of forklifts. If you talk about warehouse forklifts, I've got tons of them.
What brand forklift?
Lugon.
Lugon.
So we have a material handling division, and then we have a construction equipment division.
See, now, I've been wanting to be a forklift dealer. I made a big mistake.
Yeah.
I could have bought
I'll be able to set you up here pretty soon.
I could have bought a forklift dealership in Longview, Texas, 25 years ago. That's one business I would like to take to San Antonio, to Abilene, because San Antonio has so much warehouse. And you can buy, say, a 6,000-pound lift. Tell me if I'm wrong. Probably there were 28 to 32,000.
Not anymore.
Okay, so let's say they're 35,000.
A little bit up.
38.
About 39.
Okay, 39,000.
Yes, sir.
You let me buy anything because you can get $1,000 a month for it, can't you?
Yes, sir.
Rent.
Easy.
Let me tell you, the rule of thumb in my life is if I can buy it and pay for it in 4 years, and it's worth half of what I gave for it, that's a good deal.
That is a great deal.
I don't care if it's, you know, land. I want to buy it. I want to rent it for 4 years, and I want to keep on renting it.
Well,
But
I'm going to let you know a little secret. I'm fixing to be a manufacturer. So I will have material handlers. I'll be able to set you up in those dealerships you want. Just keep
Really?
pressing that way. Yes,
You
sir.
getting over there with them people that talk funny and gonna get them built?
I'm getting over there with them people that know that there's people over here that are entrepreneurs that want to make some money, and they have the product, and we have the clientele.
And what are you gonna call it? Jackie forklift?
No, they're actually going to be Talon lifts.
Talons.
Talon,
Talon.
Talon, Talon
Yeah.
lifts. Yes, sir.
So you'll be the distributor.
I'll be the manufacturer.
Really?
It'll have Alpha and Omega as the manufacturer.
Can I
on
be
it.
your first dealer?
I'll set you up. You'll be my first dealer I set
You
up.
know we don't mess around. We
You
hustle.
don't.
Oh, it was? See, we're sitting here with a creator. Yeah. Well, that's well, that go. Yeah, we have we have the UTV stores now in Abilene.
I've got a
and
UTV
Del
too.
Rio.
I got a UTV line. You didn't know that, did you?
No.
It's called a Tuatera. It's made in New Zealand.
Really,
It looks like a small mini Hummer.
really.
I'll have to bring one out and show you. I might bring one out to the sale tomorrow. Just
You
to park
know,
it there.
13 years I've never been to your place.
Well, it's right there on 300 South Grant. Fixing to be soon over at Northwest Loop 338 out of
You
the
need
old.
to buy a little property right here on I-20 by Midwestern Hose.
That property out there on Northwest Loop 338, perfect place. 15 acres.
I got 20 for you.
Yeah.
You're going to have a road that goes from Crane Avenue all the way over to West County Road.
Is that right?
Yeah,
You bought some property there
Yeah.
by Permian Machinery.
Yep. Right down from you can be you're Mr. Chavez. He'll be mad at me if I bring you over there. No, Mr. Chavez is a great guy.
No, he's a great guy. I know him. Yeah, I know him really well. He's a good guy.
But no, we ended up was going to build our oil field office there. Instead, now here we got this. We bought the 9 acres behind us from Stuart Stevenson.
Oh yeah.
Well, then we ended up buying the whole thing.
Wow.
So we own from the back of Big Test all the way to the railroad track. So we got 50 acres here now.
Okay.
And it's, of course, it's kind of slim right now. We couldn't move. That's why we bought the 9 acres. And now we can't find. Of course, as well as I do, Jackie, you can come by here this Saturday before. Let me back up. Say Sunday, a week before, like 10 days before I sell, there's nothing here. And you get here on Friday afternoon, and say, "Ah, dang it, these people, why are they waiting till the last minute to bring this crap in here?" He's running around. I said, "Well, tell them they can't bring it out to Thursday." He said, "No, we need it. We need it to sell." So, But
He's
anyway,
a good guy. He's a good guy.
yeah, he's done me a great job. My nephew, when I had my heart surgery, I didn't expect it. And I'm like, what am I going to do? And about a month later, when I come to my senses, I look at everything. I go, why do I even need to get out of the recliner? Just let him run it. But we've got a good staff, just getting better every day, and we're growing. We're now going to Oklahoma City. We just hired and bought a place up there, so it's good. Well, Jackie, thank you so much for taking your time to come. And
it was my pleasure.
We do need to visit a little more often, maybe not on there, so we get down to the nitty gritty.
Well, when you get a real chance to come by the yard, I'll show you all the product lines that I represent. So I just signed Rockback, which is the big articulated dump trucks, the 30, 40 tons.
Right. Really?
So I'll have those in my fleet. Signed Merlot.
What's a 40-ton like that cost?
I don't know yet. I haven't got the pricing on those yet. But Merlot telehandlers, Italian-made telehandlers.
Anything comes out of Italy is
I
good.
represent those guys as well.
Anything comes out of Italy. Their wine's the best.
But
My wife just ordered $3,100 at her wine tasting the other day. I don't know how I'm going to pay for it. So.
We got to sell some more used equipment.
That's right.
I bet you'll get her done.
Well, Jackie, it's
All
good
right.
seeing you, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Hey, see y'all at the next auction.